My name is Mike Nelson. My job, underwater research. The Navy taught me diving, to defend myself underwater, to recognize and handle dangerous explosives. But experience taught me to think fast, when face to face with the unexpected. In 10 years of diving, in sometimes dangerous waters, I've learned that the shark will not attack an underwater swimmer with an air lung, unless perhaps he's in a feeding frenzy. Giant stingrays passed me often without giving me a second look. The seals, the porpoises, the great whales, they're all friendly creatures. There aren't many killer whales. Man is a far more dangerous creature. He invented the air lung for recreation and exploration, but unscrupulous divers have turned it into an implement of crime. This midget sub was built for the Navy, for research and underwater scouting. The same gadget, in unfriendly hands, could be used for escape or illegal dope traffic. The sea sled was designed for sport, but unscrupulous fishermen use it for smuggling aliens into our country. Our Coast Guard keeps a watchful and protective eye on all offshore activities. But when a Coast Guard cutter or helicopter appears, the sinister forces may disappear and take refuge beyond the 12-mile limit. This is why that I was asked by federal agents to be on the alert and report anything strange that might occur in these waters. When a number of missile experts disappeared, I was asked particularly to scout the waters off Point Flannery under the disguise of another assignment. I didn't know that I would change from the hunter to the hunted. For every practical purpose, I was assisting Dr. Carpenter, whose assignment was to photograph whales from marineland of the Pacific. The sea was rough, but whales don't mind bad weather, and my boat was sturdy. Dr. Carpenter didn't know that my assignment was something other than whales, and more dangerous than the rough sea. The first whale that popped up was a 50-foot cow. She kept in sight for a while and gave Dr. Carpenter a chance to observe her at close range. Whales kept jumping from all directions. I grabbed the camera. Dr. Carpenter was as happy as a kid. The doctor was scanning the horizon. He spotted something. It wasn't a whale. It was a dinghy. And it was heading out to the open sea with 3 passengers. It was strange that such a small craft should take such a risk. We noticed that the name of the boat was the Aquabelle. I switched on the radio for the late weather report, but what we heard was a special bulletin.
Authorities are intensifying their investigation into the disappearance of the guided missile expert, Dr. Ryland Decker.
Turn that up, will you, Mike?
Dr. Decker is the 3rd guided missile expert who has mysteriously disappeared in this area. Navy spokesman made it clear that there is no definite indication of foul play. Dr. Decker is noted for his periodic withdrawals into unannounced seclusion. However, the secret nature of Decker's guided missile work has prompted government agencies to make a thorough search for the missing scientist. Now, from the nation's capital...
What's the matter? That report on Ryder.
Yeah? You know him?
Slightly. I met him last year at a Marine Symposium. I gave a talk on killer whales. He was scheduled to talk on subsurface missiles.
His disappearance, is it serious?
Well, I remember that he disappeared from the conference, too. We finally found him in a park with some boys, umpiring a ball game.
Hey, I figured. I acted uninterested, but I was far from that. We cruised several miles further out, then followed the coastline northward. Suddenly, Carpenter noticed something.
That boat look familiar to you? The Aquabat?
The dinghy was empty. We didn't know what was going on underwater. That one of the three men was a prisoner. That his hands were tied, and that his captors had forced him to go below.
Just came up. They're getting into the boat.
I didn't catch any fish.
Going away without the third man.
Oh, you're sure right. There's only two of them. Something was very, very wrong. I changed into my diving gear.
Do you think we should move in a little closer?
No, it might not be safe. We don't want to call attention to ourselves. I got about an hour of air. That ought to give me enough time to do some snooping.
Be careful, Mike.
I went below to find out what had happened to the third man. I was helpless against the strong current around the reef. I was bounced around like a rubber ball. I tried to regain my balance, but I was incapable of fighting the turbulence. The only thing that I could do was to go with it until it subsided. Fighting the current, I used up too much air. And then suddenly I sighted something that I'd never seen below. It was no sunken hull. It looked like a big mushroom made of metal. I wanted to get closer, but I couldn't. I was out of air. All I had time for was to turn on my safety valve and head back toward the boat. Doc helped me attach a fresh tank, the last one aboard. It gave me 30 minutes to inspect that underwater contraption below.
Mike, maybe you should forget all about it. This may be some sort of Navy detecting device, and the third man is the operator for it.
No. If the Navy had anything out here that was secret, they'd be swarming all over us by now. There'd be patrol boats, frogmen, the works.
Whatever it is, it's none of our business.
I'm gonna make another dive. We better get out of here. They might come back.
Mike, listen to me.
You come back and get me in exactly a half an hour.
Mike.
I gotta find out what that thing is down there. I went down again. I approached the mushroom from the other side of the reef. I was right in my calculations. The current was not as strong on the other side. I reached the underwater contraption in a few minutes. And then I saw somebody standing inside. All of a sudden, it hit me. This was an underwater prison. There was an air bubble under that dome. A pocket of captive air that kept the water out by its own pressure. A maximum security prison. He had to stay in there or drown. You are Ryla Decker, aren't you?
Where are you taking me now?
Take it easy now. We're both on the same side.
I don't believe you.
There's no time to convince you.
You're not one of them?
No.
How'd you find me then?
There's no time to answer questions. I've got to get you out of here before they come back.
They're not coming back.
No?
Their job was finished when they brought me out from offshore.
I don't understand any of this. Why are you down here, you know?
They said something about a seaplane picking me up.
Then this must be some kind of an underwater station.
Uh-huh. They're gonna send divers down for me with a breathing device for me.
And soon. Whoever's masterminding this deal must know that you can't last very long under this dome.
Tell me, you're obviously an expert at this. What would my chances be of reaching the surface without a breathing device? With you helping me?
Reaching the surface wouldn't be a problem. It's whether or not my friend will be back when we get up there.
You're not out here alone?
No. I sent him away when I came down to investigate.
You sent him away?
Yeah. But he ought to be back right now. Let me see. I got an idea how we'll do this. I'm going to go up and take a look. And if he's there, we got it made.
You'll come down again for me? With a breathing device?
Right away. Now you take it easy, huh? What I didn't tell Dr. Decker was that the breathing device that I planned to bring him was the one that I was wearing. I had no spares in my boat. I hoped that by the time I reached the surface, Dr. Carpenter would be back.
It's an underwater station down there. There's a man in it. Tell him named Decker. He says it's a seaplane that's coming for him. Any minute. Get on, we'll try and get him out of there.
Now, when Decker yanks on this line, you haul him up, but not too fast.
All right.
Got the rest of it straight? After he gets on board?
Get him out of sight, and then go to the Coast Guard station at Bayard's Cove. Why can't I contact the Coast Guard by radio?
Now, I don't want to take a chance. That seaplane might cut into our wavelength. You deliver the message in person.
Me? Why me?
I won't be able to. Decker will explain later.
You didn't bring a breathing device for me.
Yes, I did. This one.
But that's yours.
I won't need it. Here, turn around.
You're going up with that one?
I'm staying here. I'm taking your place.
You can't. They'll kill you.
I'm hoping they won't know what you look like. That they'll think I'm Dr. Decker. You better give me your hood. Don't help disguise me, huh?
But why should you take a chance like this?
Those divers come down here and they don't find anyone. They get back in their seaplane. They could very easily spot our boat from the air. They could overtake us before we got to shore. Now, when you get outside this dome, you yank on this line. Here, put it in your belt. My friend Carpenter will be up there waiting to haul you up. Here. Now, you know how to use this?
Yes, they showed me.
Good. Now, you're gonna be all right.
Thanks. You're a brave man.
I'm just hoping that you get to the Coast Guard in time to save my neck. Here, let me help you here. Good luck. Dr. Carpenter was a good man. I knew that phase 1 of my rescue plan would work out. It did. He got Decker up to the surface in fine shape, and he hauled him in. Phase 2 went into operation next, also without seconds to spare. His job was to get to the Coast Guard before the seaplane arrived. Phase 3 began, and just in time for me. Decker and I had used up more air on our 2 conversations than I'd realized. I didn't know if I'd be able to last until the supposed rescue team arrived. Each minute that passed made it more likely that I wouldn't. This was the one time in my life that I wanted to be wrong. Suddenly, a Coast Guard cutter appeared on the horizon, and the helicopter above. The seaplane took off in a great hurry, leaving the two divers behind. Now I was ready to put Phase 3 into high gear. They expected a helpless old man, but they were a little surprised. When I ripped his intake tube, he had no other choice but to surface. That was one down, or I should say up, with one more to go. But this second one would be tough, now that I'd lost the element of surprise. I had to think of some other trick. The trick was a simple one. First, I gave away my location by bubbles. Then I sneaked away and cut off my air supply for a minute or two. As I had hoped, he followed my bubbles and was surprised not to find me behind the rock. While he was looking for me, I got behind him. It was 1 against 1. I had a good chance. We surfaced together. We didn't have to float very long. The Coast Guard was closing in fast. The kidnappers of Dr. Decker had no avenue of escape. I'll be back next week at this same time with another sea hunt story. Plan to be with us again, huh?